Organising an essay. This is part of the series of Learning to Thrive with Dyslexia and ADHD. Phil was a bright teenager but couldn't get focused on writing essays. I decided to check out what was happening to his mental images when he was trying to write about World War II, for example. He just saw a pile of rubbish. There was loads and loads of little pictures, but he couldn't determine what any of them were. It was just a pile of rubbish in front of him on the floor with no structure and no organisation. We worked on increasing focus on what just one part of the essay might be, asking all the other topics that were not World War II to leave his space. A useful metaphor was when he was in a history lesson and the teacher had booked the room. All the French and German classes need to keep out. It's not their space. So we managed to get rid of all the stuff that didn't belong to World War II. Then I suggested he break the task down into sections, so he decided on military planes first. Using grounding, he generated a single screen in his visual field and started loading up pictures of planes. Having organised his thoughts like this, he could identify what he wanted to say. When he went on to the next topic, I asked him what he was going to do with all the planes, and he looked at me in disbelief and said, "I'm just going to wipe them away with a windscreen wiper," and they were all gone. He was pleased to have gained control of all these pesky little pictures. This may be the first time he had space in his head for 13 years. We then brought in the tanks and managed to drill down into some of the tank details. He kept looking down. I asked him if he could look up and see a tank. Just one tank. There was nothing there, he said. He had created space again. Slowly we tried to move one tank up into his visual field, which is the easiest place to visualize. He didn't think he could see it to start with, but he could describe it, and within a few moments he could actually see it. So all of his visual imagery had been down in his emotions, maybe from birth, causing major sensory overload. I discovered that when he was a child he'd been a headbanger, which was his only way of trying to get this stuff that he wasn't really conscious of under control. Now he can get the big picture and develop the details for looking up, like holding a mind map in his head. Then he can divide it down into all the details. This story was originally published in The Elephant in the Classroom. Please go to my YouTube channel and look for more short videos that will help you to learn how people can be successful with empowering learning.